AJ Martinez. Sabotage 7. I will ride or die with our team. For the most part, the team is looking better. Keep them together. Please no blowing this team up. We have a future.
I would agree. I would agree. And that's the thing, man. If you have patience and you stick through the rough time, man, once you get to that mountaintop, baby, that makes that feeling that much sweeter. And we have a lot of those pieces in place. That's the other part. And that's why it's like you can make tweaks here or there. But I'm with you, AJ. I don't think you have to blow this thing up, man. Sometimes blowing it up will make the reset even worse than just tweaking a piece here. And that piece could simply be like we've been talking about. Maybe it is just simply adding a corner. Maybe it is simply just adding another veteran presence on offense, whether that's in the receiving room or on the offensive line. Maybe it's as simple as, hey man, just get a little bit more veteran coordinator in here. Like, we don't know what that exact thing is, but to me, I don't feel like it's something that has to be a large change for this team to continue getting to where we wanted to be, because we're already seeing that growth right now.
100%. I like the core that we're
Yeah.
building. And that's type of stuff that you're talking about is naturally going to happen every
Mm-hmm.
offseason. No
Yep.
team is ever the same from season to season,
Right.
just due to free agency, players
Mm-hmm.
retiring, people
Yep.
getting cut, trades, all that type of
Mm-hmm.
stuff, the draft. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like the core that we got. Makes me, again, just shake my head at the people that
Yeah.
were talking about trying to draft a quarterback in
Yeah.
this upcoming draft.
Yeah. But once again, when people aren't comfortable, they panic. When they panic, panicky is panicky, man. You gonna holler at anything. One week is I need a quarterback. Next week I need to fire the head coach. Then it's change the ownership. Like, you know how it goes. But when you follow this thing the way that we doing this thing and we seeing it grow the way that we grow, it's like, man, you realize you don't have to get overreactive like that every single time. And that is the beauty, because we watch Kenny. We can see the development. And that's the thing. It's like, man, for the ones that go crazy on him as like a negative, you really have to ask yourself, like, what is the motivation or the intent of that? Because to me, if you're a fan of this team and you're a fan of this game the way that it is, man, it's like, I don't see how you crucify Kenny Pickett right now, man. Like, it's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be. It's a rookie. But to
No,
me,
it's
I
just
think
funny
it's
to me.
I think it's doing
Go
what it's
ahead.
supposed to do though. But I was saying,
It's
like,
just
to me, I think he's
go
doing what he's
ahead.
supposed to do though. Yeah.
It's just funny to me because there's so many people
Yeah.
from the outside,
Mm-hmm.
NFL experts,
Yeah.
former players, people
Mm-hmm.
that are breaking down Pickett's film, looking
Yeah.
at what the Steelers are building, and they are
Mm-hmm.
really impressed. How many
Yeah.
people are just saying, again, from the outside, these
Mm-hmm.
are objective people, don't have
Yeah.
anything to do with the Steelers. Actually, some of them, because Joe Thomas the other day
Mm-hmm.
is a Browns person, so he would
Yeah.
love to see the Steelers fail.
Yeah.
He's even talking about, like, man, if I'm a Steeler
Mm-hmm.
person, I'm waking up with a smile on my face
Yeah.
because I think you guys got something for the future.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense, man. Like I said, the tape, that's the thing for me. You can get enamored with numbers exclusively, and that's fine. But we said, man, numbers can lie to you at times. Numbers can be misleading at times. But the one constant from my experiences and from the experiences of the guys that I value in terms of their opinions, coaches, GMs, is the tape. They say that's the one thing where it's like, it doesn't matter about your opinion. It doesn't matter about your personal feelings. It doesn't matter about your biasness. The tape isn't going to lie. And when you cut on the tape with Kenny, you see a lot of good things. You see a lot of progress, a lot of steps in the right direction, and it's on the right pace, to me at least. I'm sure other people might think that it's supposed to just be perfect because it was in the first round. And yeah, I don't think that's realistic. But, everybody has their own version of expectations. But from my experiences, I do think that Kenny is progressing on the timeline that he's supposed to be right now, man.
The funny thing with the stats part of it that you brought up
Yeah.
is people point to, oh man, he only has three total
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns. He hasn't had as many
Yeah.
touchdowns as we would have liked over these last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, I mean, he should have had the one in the Saints game to
Yeah.
Najee that he dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Two drop touchdowns in this
Mm-hmm.
Colts game, and then the
Yeah.
Pickens one in the Bengals. That's like what, 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
right there that
Yeah.
should have been. So if you are just going to
Mm-hmm.
simply look at the stats, you
Yeah.
aren't getting the feel for what Pickett's actually doing.
Absolutely. But that's why, once again, if they're only hollering numbers, 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 you have to ask yourself, what is their intent? Are you just arguing for the sake of arguing? Because some people, they do that, right? They just want to argue for the sake of arguing. And it's like, man, if you want to do that, you can do that over that way. But when you cut the tape on, it's hard to, if you're like, I don't understand how you could watch a game from him and not see progress, especially when you look at this journey the way that we've been following it so intimately since OTAs, training camp, preseason, weeks 1 through where we're at right now. It's like, Man, come on. You be lying to yourself to act like we haven't seen legitimate growth, not just through him, but through the whole offense. We talked about Matt Canada. We talked about this offensive line. We talked about this running game. You said it yourself these past 3 weeks what this running game has looked like, right? Statistically as well. It's like, man, you can see the development that when we're watching these games, we don't have to ask ourselves when that Colts game finished, did we have to look at the stats that know we ran the ball well? Nah. We know why we have to, because we know it. We were on schedule. We could feel it. And that's the beauty of this day, man. When it's real, you don't have to do all this looking up and stuff. It's like, nah, you just watch the tape, man. It is not gonna lie.